Hey guys, Big J here from the Centre Bounce. In today's video, I'm going over how my team went in round 3 and the changes I'm most likely making for round 4. It was a tough week. We didn't score that well, but stay tuned for all the content. It's going to be a lot of fun. Guys, round 3 done and dusted. It was a bit weird coming off the round 2 bye. Looking at my side, probably should have made some changes that I didn't make, and then made some changes that I probably shouldn't have made as well. Ended up having about $2 million on the bench, which really sucks. So this week, I had an $8 million team. Everyone else probably had a $9.5 million team, depending on what primos you brought in and which guys you had. No Sam Flanders, no Tom Green, no Jesse Hogan, Sam Berry, who ended up missing out as well. So, yeah, plus all the other rookies like Cadman. It was tough. It was tough. We did beat some other content creators, which was good. But just in terms of overall rankings, I would have loved to have jumped up a bit further. Let's have a look at the side. This week, we scored 1903, which top 13%. I thought it would have actually been a lot higher. Like, I would have probably got around top 30%. It must have been some teams that really hurt, and maybe some people who had a little bit more in terms of like primos out compared to what I had. So we're in the top 12%. It's not too bad. Hopefully next week, top 10%, moving up the rankings as well. We've just jumped up to 19K, so just above top 20K. There's a few people in a similar situation. It really stinks. If you have a look at my trades, I have made a few selections so far, so that's why it's showing up as 31 there. So let's have a look at the team. I'll show you guys how I did and who I'm thinking of bringing in as well. This week, I really struggled. We kind of go over the side. I know in our team captain video on Wednesday night, basically said, cool, I'm going to go Butters into Heaney. I got suckered in, guys. The peer pressure got me. It really hurt. I ended up going Butters, and then I think it was Sunday morning or Saturday night. It was like, cool, switch over to Bont, 150. The projections got me. George's Discord got me. People were like, chuck on Bont, he's going to dominate. I was very lucky that he kicked that third goal because I would have been sad if my captain ended up scoring less than my vice captain. So it is what it is. We move on from there. In the backline, Luke Ryan, who we brought in, 130, fantastic. Dacos, 112, nice to have a bounce back, but if you had come in and you had antipoded Dacos, I think you'd be very happy. Harry Sheasel, 128, always awesome. D'Ambrosio, who we had brought in, I would have liked something a little bit more than a 68. If you had a look at kind of his scoring overall, I'm pretty sure he was on around this at three-quarter time and basically just didn't touch the ball. I know it was wet, but a lot more of the other players from Hawthorn were getting involved. And hopefully that doesn't affect him too much. If we check out what his break-even is at the moment, it is a 13. So maybe we've just brought him in for the first price rise. I hope he gets to 340. 350, maybe 400K. Otherwise, he's going to be a slow burn, and that's not what we want, really. Zach Williams, 70, so very happy there. And then we kind of screwed up this defense at the moment. We picked Howes because he scored well the week before. Marty Hoare ended up scoring more. And if you check out kind of the reports from the game, Marty Hoare's done his finger. He's going to be out for 3 to 4 games. Hopefully, Howes plays because we're going to have 2 dead defenders. The midfield, as I said, Bontempelli 110, Butters 98. Ollie Wines, get in the bin. You understand the reference, you'll understand. 96, so basically I think he's done his hammy for this week. He's not going to play. And he just hasn't been around the mark. There's been so many other players I would have liked for around that price. I'm glad he went up in cash. Very happy. But it's just not what we want. Matt Roberts, 98, just cruising along, doing very well. He's going to turn into a primo or even a defender rookie come round 6 or 7. I'm happy to swap him and Howes and just ride the wave. But we're going to get someone else a bit sneaky in that position next week. McKercher, 74. Sanders, 77. So nice bounce back from Sanders. Jack Carroll, 65. Very happy with him in his first price rise. Sharp as well, 71. And Sam Berry. Now, we're going to talk about my forward line in a minute, but this is where we just fell off the train a little bit. Sam Berry news came in, wasn't being selected. At that point, I should have said, cool, Need to go to my backup plan. I've got some other players I need to bring in. And as you can see, and as everyone else would have recognized from the scoring, Hayden Young, 130. Nick Martin, 130 plus. These are two players I could have kept in my team over Ollie Wines. We both know the roles there. There's a reason why we've picked these players. If you held on to both, congratulations. You've done very, very well. I didn't do that. It's really hurt me this week and hurt me on for basically the whole season as well, because I can see these guys averaging over 100, and I've just spent 2 trades and money to get them out. For a guy like Luke Ryan, who's averaging, maybe not averaging, but scored the same as a Hayden Young last week. So it really, really hurts. And now I basically have to rebuild the whole team around it. So Berry didn't play. Sucks. Gorn, massive game. Would have loved to go VC or C on him. We didn't do that. And then nice to have a bounce back from Grundy as well. I'm not sure. I think he just went down in money. But after this week is when the 68 game is going to be out of his cycle. So I'm very, very happy with that. Livingston, obviously, nice loophole there. And then in the forward line. So we spoke about Heaney. I didn't get him. Jesse Hogan was my 22nd player. So I only ended up playing 21. I think my lowest score this week was a 54. So it's not too bad considering some of the sucky players. Tom Powell, 92. Very, very happy there. We brought him in, did his job. Someone who hasn't really done his job since I brought him in is James Jordan. And yes, he came in and we had a price rise, but we're only getting 80s out of him. And guys like Dempsey, who I'm really considering bringing into my team this week, they just look better. I think next year's the year where, depending on how good the round 1 rookies are, the guys who are picked up in the first round, depending on how good they are, we might just go straight guns and rookies. If they keep round 0, the plan is just to go straight guns and rookies, because James Jordan, cool, I made 80K. A lot of people picking Fife, probably a similar thing. I think in the defense is the one position where mid-prices tend to work. But even if you look at last year, Warple didn't make much. Setterfield didn't make much. Hopper didn't make much. Sidewaysing these guys, bringing them in later on, if you started them, okay. But you could get a real primo and a rookie who's going to score more, make you more money than these mid-prices. Oh, cool. I hope he's going to be a keeper. I really hope Tom Powell's not going to be that for us this year. If he sticks around in the forward line, I'm very, very happy. The role's there, but it is a big watch and see. Harley Reid, 54, is definitely on my plans to get rid of, potentially next week, depending on if I can make the trades I want to or not. And then Darcy Wilson, so 25. A lot of people jumping off Darcy Wilson this week. It really sucks because he was hoping to be one of those players that are going to make us some decent money. And that 25 is going to hurt him. He is playing at, who's he playing? Richmond this week. So there's potential for him to make some money and to make a decent score. Hopefully that happens. I thought with Henry out, cool. With Mason Wood out, that Darcy Wilson was going to get it and lock in that wing spot. But, Ross just didn't put him in there. So it kind of sucks. Cadman, Sexton coming back off the bye. I'm great for that to happen as well. And then Sexton potentially on the chopping block, but we'll just see what happens with my team. This week, I know we normally do this on the Wednesday, but I just wanted to kind of have a bit of a think about what players I wanted to bring in. This week is the last week where you guys who are watching, like, share, subscribe if you haven't already. This is the week where the last chance you've really got to bring in these round 3 rookies. The guys who are going to make you some money. Yes, you missed out on a price rise from a Dempsey, for example. But if you don't get him in this week, you're really screwed. And looking at my bench right now, let's just press optimize, right? Bring the players in. Hall's not going to make money. Howells probably isn't going to make much money. Zach Reed is not making much money. Darcy Wilson's not making much money. Livingston is not making money. And then we've got 2 guys. So 4 out of the 8 players on my bench are only making money. It's not many. We need to start shoring up this bench because we really want to go 1 rookie here, 1 rookie here, upgrade to a premium. And it's looking like at the moment we can't start to do that. And this is what we're really worried about, what I'm really worried about, and what you guys should be worried about too. Cash gen is very, very important, especially now. You guys got to make the trades you need to start upgrading your team, which is fantastic, but start getting rid of some of these dead rookies as well. There's a few really good players that we'll talk about tomorrow in the video or Wednesday's video, depending on when you watch this, about which players to bring in break-evens wise and which ones you should probably sit out as well. In terms of prospective trades this week, we'll talk about it a little bit more on Thursday. But I, I kind of identified Dempsey being as someone that I needed to bring in. Dempsey, Jack Steele, and then, potentially someone else as well. So we'll see what happens with the team. Sam Berry, chuck him in the bin. I should have done this last week. Look how much money I could have had 350K to play around with. I legitimately could have brought in Harry Mackay for 130 last week. I'm kicking myself for not doing it. Save the trades from Young and Martin. Bring in Harry Mackay. Bring in Tom Powell and Massimo. Life would have been sweet. We didn't do it. We can't bring in Mackay this week. He's probably going to score a 150 on, Big Draper. It is what it is, right? That's Supercoach. We can't dwell on what's happened. We just look towards the future. So he's in the bin. This week, I'm most likely going to get rid of James Jordan. The low break, so the highish break even is what does it for me a little bit. Yes, he is versing West Coast, but we might get an 80 out of him. And cool, I made 11K. It's a lot less than the guy who I'm going to bring in. And I need to get Dempsey in my forward line as well, which kind of shores things up a little bit. We've got the swing with Darcy Wilson, but I need to get that Dempsey guy in my team. So it's those two. And let me just see who was the third player I'm going to get in my side. Ollie Wines. Yeah, because he got injured. So in the bin, see you later for Ollie Wines. This week, I am going to... We're bringing in Big Jack Steele. Now, I know I'm missing out on a price rise, but he's currently sitting at a 120 average, looking really good. Brad Crouch is out for a while, and even Winhager's kind of missed out. I think this week's going to be an easier matchup for him. He does have some tougher matchups coming up, but if he can stand through, if he can be fit, potential top 8 for us, which is kind of what we're wanting. And at the moment, due to kind of limited cash gen across the mark, we need to start to bring in these type of players in our team. So that's kind of why I've got him at the moment. If there's someone better, just let me know down in the comments. I don't want to spend a lot of money this week because next week I'm going to bring another Primo in and spend only 2 trades, which is probably a good thing at the moment. I'm going to bring in Darcy because you need to bring him in. Check out that break even, mate. Negative 92. It's going to make you a lot of money. And what did we say at the start? We need money. And because we need money, we're going to bring in Oliver Dempsey. And I know I've spoke about him before about other players doing well. I think Darcy Wilson kind of shitting the bed a little bit has changed my views on things, but it really hurt not owning Dempsey and seeing how well he did on the weekend. Yes, this week, 40, 50, whatever. But if he doesn't, he's projected a 101. It's not going to happen. But if he comes out and scores quite well, non-owners are really going to struggle. This is the last week to get him in before it's going to punish you so much. Chandler from last year or the year before ended up getting to mid-300s. I think Dempsey's one of the players to do it. Geelong are blooding all the youth. Their midfield's in a bit of trouble. They need him to play, and he will play every week. That's kind of why I got him in my team. And if you have a look, it's a lot of money. A lot of money left. Which means we can potentially just straight up getting a Primo in next week, which is what we want. We need to start making these upgrades happen. So this is the team at the moment. It's looking like Cadman's going to play. This week, I think I'm going to go Heaney captain and obviously loophole Livingston there. So Butters vice captain, Heaney captain. Very, very happy with that. Howes is going to play. Yep, seems pretty good so far. So next week, the plan hopefully is to go Harley Reid out and then straight to Lockie Whitfield. That seems to be the plan, kind of pre-thinking a little bit. And then depending on how Conway goes, someone to really watch for this week. If he comes out and scores another 70, 80 and looks good as a ruckman in that team, Sexton, I think, goes out for Conway. So all we need this week is Harley Reid to score decently well, Sexton to score well, flip. I'm happy. Another Primo in the team, bringing in a ruckman who should make me some real decent cash. Yes, I can do some other things, but I think that's the way to go. Unfortunately, we're stuck holding these 2 guys on the bench, which means that even come round 7, we might not be flipping these guys through, which is really going to hurt because there's going to be some fantastic players. Draper's one who potentially I might try and bring into this position here, seeing how he goes, seeing how I'm feeling tomorrow. All right, guys, that's my team for this week. My review. Let me know down in the comments how you guys went. Did you beat me this week? Who did you bring in? I'd love to hear it down below. We've got a lot of content coming out. It is a shorter week, guys. So we've had our Monday team review. Amazing 121 people jumped on for that. If you haven't already, it's become a staple for a lot of people. It's a lot of fun answering all your questions, going through the team sheets, that kind of thing. We've got the ride home on Thursday, going through the team sheets as well. And being the gather round, it's another Thursday game. Maybe that one will go a bit lower, a bit shorter. Thursday game after that will be great. Tomorrow, we've got our break-evens. We've got our captaincy choices as well. So 2 more videos there. And potentially, if we're lucky, a DPP video for the guys that you guys need to be watching over the next couple of weeks as maybe forward, maybe back DPP. We'll see how it goes there. It's going to be a fantastic season, guys. Pumping through all the content. Hopefully, you guys can stick around for the whole thing because you know why? Here at the Centre Bounce, we do the hard work so you guys don't have to.